Welcome back to the Reservation for Three podcast. My name's Jason Highwalking.
And I'm Sarah Ortegon Highwalking.
And I am Alex Cisneros.
Hey, all right. Well, welcome back, guys.
Ahoga.
It's been about 2 weeks since the next podcast. I think this will come out on Wednesday. So
Yes.
Cool.
let's do a little bit of check-in. And I mean, me and Sarah live together, so
We'll
see.
But I haven't seen you guys in a long time.
we'll see how you're doing. Just checking in with you, man.
I'm doing good. Yeah. I'm doing good.
Anything new? Anything exciting?
Going to Europe in 9 days. I'm going to Rome. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I know me, and you guys know me as very well as well, and I'm very neurotic with certain things, and
Yeah.
I just kind of got in my head with a few things about the preparation, and I just need to let it happen and let it flow organically. Obviously, like the packing aspect and getting ready, like having my passport and all that stuff, but I think the rest of it will fall into place beautifully and organically. And I'm going with my best friend, Jackie, and we've been best friends since high school, and it's going to be a really good time. I'm super, super excited about that.
Is it your first time out of the country?
Uh,
Other than
Mexico?
yeah.
Yeah, it is the first time out of the country aside from Mexico, the motherland.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I other than that, I think just work and just the trials and tribulations of just being an adult, I guess, and just trying to be a productive and good human being, I think. And sometimes that weighs on you sometimes, and just going through other bullshit too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know, I think, a little bit of what I'm going through with some personal things, but at the end of the day, maybe moving forward on some other episodes, we'll dive into that a little more, because right now it's kind of in the ether. And so I would just want to make sure that before I put anything out into the universe, that I really take time and reflect on it and know what decision I'm going to make.
Yeah. Going across the pond. Right on. So what would be like a high and a low for today?
High and a low. Shoot. I would say my high is you guys are here. My sister and her family are coming up. So that's another big high, I think, for all of us.
Yeah.
My niece is going to be 4 tomorrow, and Libby Bibby is a badass. Shout out to you, Libby. I love you. And Amelia and Gabe and Moises. So yeah.
Any low? What's your low for today?
Fuck. Why?
He's all too many.
No, just like what I was talking about earlier, just that uncertainty and having a lot of weight on my spirit and my heart with
A few things
that are going on. So yeah.
What about you, Sarah?
A high?
High and low for today.
For today, I feel like our son is finally potty trained. So he wakes up in a panic and he's like, I gotta go pee. And of course he wakes me up to take him. Low is he's not poop potty trained. That is a big low.
He's like,
Two sides to each coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Parenthood.
we're getting there, but it's not there yet.
So for you new parents, are you guys experiencing this as well with your toddler boys and girls? Because I feel like this is a theme that some people don't really talk about, or even people without kids. I don't really know. I do know about these things because of my sister, and my sister is so amazing, and you guys are amazing with sharing your family with me. And so I feel very blessed and connected that way. So I do know the trials and tribulations of potty training. So,
Yes.
I seen that little clip on Instagram the other day, and these two ladies are talking about how kids technically should be potty trained by 18 months, and it was like the diaper industry that forced kids to stay into diapers till 3.
You know what? That
Oh,
makes sense.
geez.
I would say this because my mom was telling us when we were being potty trained, like we were potty trained
Yeah.
quick. And I was like, whatever. But
It's like just a way to keep kids.
well, it's a way to make money, not
The
keep
bigger-
kids.
Yeah.
in
Not,
the
not to
pee-pee
keep
pads.
kids, but
Well,
it's
it's-
like enabling
Yeah.
kids.
Well,
to,
it's kind of like the pharmaceutical industry.
yeah.
If you fix the problem, you're not making money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find a way to fix the problem homeopathically, that's out the door. And so you don't, it's a crazy dance, and it's a really sad one when these big industries are manipulating people and societies just for their benefit.
Yeah, because I guess diapers are the only thing on the world that don't biodegrade. So like since diapers were invented, like none of them have disappeared at all.
Crazy thing. My mom, she only used cloth diapers and she had 12 kids.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a washer or a dryer.
So talk about wanting to potty train your
She's
kids
like,
real
you are
quick.
sitting on the toilet as soon as possible.
2 months. Why is there a baby on a
Still
toilet?
flimsy. I gotta hold it.
Making a cradle board for the toilet.
That's a good idea.
Hey,
Today,
maybe we're coming up with something.
I forgot the computer today too, so I
We're winging it today.
was flailing trying to get everything together.
You weren't.
And you haven't gone over a high of yours.
Yeah, you're high and low.
Low.
Start with your high.
Hi. I got to come see my family this weekend and see you guys. I came back from the chiropractor and I was having some back issues and I got a little bit better. So I feel more
Pliable.
lifted.
More
good.
like you could get folded.
I have to hear
Did
about
she
this
fall?
all the time, guys, and I love it because I think our relationship is so like open and real and raw to the point that we talk about stuff that I don't feel like a lot of normal people talk about, or like boundaries. And obviously we do have boundaries, but yeah, you know what? There are no boundaries.
I have no rebuttal, so
Poor Jason. He has to listen to Sarah and I, and he's like,
it's like once in a blue moon she'll get me like that, and I'm like I don't know what to say. Touche, madam. But yeah, I feel better because even like before I came up, it was kind of like in the middle of my back, and I couldn't even sleep.
really?
I was like tossing and turning, and kept waking up. And of course, when I got here, I felt better, but still like getting that little bit of like relief.
Release.
It's good. And the low would be probably just trying to deal with the fact that I have a really demanding job, and I like what I do, but at the same time, I enjoy when we do this, and I want more freedom to be with our son, not to wake up at 6 a.m. and just leave Sarah to do everything. So I'm trying to revamp my handyman stuff back home and see where that takes me, because I get paid well, but in this world, you either got to sacrifice money to spend time with your family or sacrifice time with your family to make money.
And I feel like this is a conversation that is had across the board that I've had with several people, and it's almost like the same response. I feel like we're almost just these drone bees, or these worker bees, and especially in this country that I don't know if we talked about this in the last podcast, but we were in Mexico. My family and I were in Mexico last month, or in July, and we just noticed the energy was different. Like, people smiled at one another. People were courteous. It was odd, because living here, it's like, excuse me, Sunday night, you're already prepping for your next week.
Yeah.
And it's almost like this panic attack comes on
Yes.
because I'm like, or we're like, okay, these are the bills that have to be paid this week, or this is what needs to be done at work this week, and there's all these repercussions. And then at the end of the day, we come home, we're exhausted. We don't even get to enjoy our families or ourselves or sit with ourselves. And then it's like, for what? I mean, I get it. We have to maintain a living, and it's nice to have a roof over our head. I enjoy the luxuries that I enjoy.
I'm open to living outside in a tent, but
Whoa. See,
not in the city. Not in the city.
See,
But
Live in a teepee again.
in a year.
yeah, I'm open to living in a teepee.
See, I like the luxuries. I like the hot water, and I like my really good pillows
have
and
a
my
shower
good
and-
sheets. And like, I don't get me wrong, people. I like the things I like, and sometimes people will trash me on that.
What's your
because
thread count on your bed?
It's a lot
What is it?
too.
What is that's not
Okay.
a lot.
2K.
That's not
It's-
even a lot.
It's around there a little more.
But yeah, it's I was gonna say, when you go to Italy and you see how the people probably don't make enough, but when we went to Venice,
Uh-huh.
kind of an expensive city. I don't know the exact pricing, but people get like three breaks throughout the day. They're like 2 hours, 3 hours. You get breakfast. People kind of chill out till about lunchtime,
Mm-hmm.
and then right around 1 to 3, nobody's open.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Really?
everybody's just
Yeah.
gone. Everything's closed. People just hang out.
Yep.
And about 4 o'clock to 9, 10, that's when people kind of go back to work.
Yeah.
But
No.
then they get to like drink and hang out and laugh. Like,
And that's what life is
Yeah.
meant to be, to hang out. I mean, I hear this adage all the time: you only live once. And I heard this older woman once say, correction, you die once. You live every day. So until we get to that point, live it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And so for whatever reason or purpose that we're here on this plane, on this rock right now, we have to make the best of it. And if it means to, let go of people who don't serve you or your spirit, and being authentic about that, or a job that is
Yeah.
toxic to you, but it's bringing you income, and
That's-
it's very almost cyclical. So
Mhm.
where do you make that healthy choice to say, all right, I choose me, or I choose my family?
I also really wish that office locations would focus an hour out of the day on physical health for their employees. Like, dedicate some time to give their employees, it's a dedicated time you have to go outside and walk, or
Downward dog.
yoga, or something that would assist. I think that's one of my biggest issues that I have with working a day job is I wake up, I take care of my son, and then I start work, and then my son goes to Head Start, and then, it's the end of the day, and then I gotta cook, and then I gotta clean, and then I gotta get Anno ready for bed, and then
But
it
that's
starts again.
that's family life. But
Yeah.
but work and family life should definitely be separate.
Yeah.
And I know that some of you families out there also have, you work from home, and so you can't really disassociate that. But I guess piggybacking to your first part of that is, that dedication, that 1 hour dedication for all employees. Is it more individual, or
I
is
would
it?
say more individual,
or is
because
it-
not everybody has the same accessibility to flexibility,
Right.
to
Right. But what I'm saying is, I don't know, and I may start some drama here or whatever, but I know that I've had jobs, and I won't say my current job, but I don't necessarily want to do certain activities with certain coworkers.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. It
so
would be individual because health isn't always
individual.
necessarily community based.
Right.
Health is also, especially when you think about physical health, you're taking care of yourself. And so it would be a focus on yourself for that hour.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
In a perfect world.
since you're going to Rome though, it'll be a hectic. You'll feel the difference. But if you get to go to like an outside city,
Yeah.
like more,
Yeah, we're going to Naples. We're going to Pompeii. We're going to Florence. I want to see the
Florence
Statue of
is-
David.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently they were like the gay Mecca back in the
Oh,
day. And
I didn't know that, and I
Yeah.
studied there.
the Medicis.
I thought Pompeii was definitely, especially in the
in the Bible.
mosaics. There's
Oh.
a lot of
Well, yeah, I mean, it's.
there's a lot of activity on their mosaics.
I think there was just a lot of. It was a lot more accepted back then, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, again, times change, and you would sort of think that we are in the century that we're in now, and we have gone back so far.
Mhm.
You were constantly going back, and it's weird because all this technology that we have, all the media, all the and we're still hating on one another for for whatever reason that we think is, the left, the right, this spirituality or color of skin or melanin or lack thereof,
Mhm.
whatever. It's ridiculous. And you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to just survive. I don't need to worry about who you're sleeping with or who you pray to or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's an interesting concept because in native culture, but also I don't know who others' cultures, but we believe everything's circular. So it's interesting to think that like if you start at the point of a circle and you go all the way around, we started out real simple. Now we're getting real technological and more advanced. So like once we reach the same point of the circle, do we start like
it's
resetting,
almost reinventing.
like restarting? No, like kind of going back into like the old things.
that? Oh.
Because we started simple. Now we're more advanced. So that do we go
Almost
back?
like that history repeats
Yeah,
itself.
like we're going
adage.
back into more simple things again, or
I wish. So I'm much older than you guys. Well, not much older than you guys, but I remember my childhood, and obviously we didn't have the technology that we have now, and our parents had to trust us when we were out, or if you knew you were going to get a phone call or your friends were going to call you, that phone was hanging on the wall, and so you were waiting for that. But like now we're just so consumed with our devices. Like
Mhm.
and it's really crazy to see, and myself included. I
Mhm.
catch myself on the phone and I'm like, dude, be present, be a little more present.
yeah. I guess it's tough too in modern society. It's like there's more stress than happiness, I guess.
Unnecessary
and like it
stress.
kind of like creates like a glaze over your eyes.
It's a Band-Aid for sure,
Yeah.
because I think we've gotten to the point as a society or just as humans that it's easier to detach than have real life conversations and really engage. And I think we're too afraid to offend or to hurt somebody's feelings, or not intentionally. And I've never wanted to intentionally hurt anybody's feelings.
Did you know that right now it's the time where the most people live alone? So like previously there was housefuls of people, where now there's more single homes.
Right. Well,
And
single
so-
people living well, obviously,
Alone.
yeah, alone.
Yeah.
Well, because obviously the economy, there's back in the day. I mean, big families happened because, you know, if you
There
have
was
a
no
ranch,
TV.
well, no, you had a ranch or you lived in a farm where, you know, the family is all working as a unit. And so
Yep.
if you have more family members, so you're actually these people are creating a workforce, essential.
Mm-hmm.
It's all survival. And now a lot more people or a lot more millennials are not having, or Gen X, Gen Z, they're not having children.
Yeah.
It's hard.
All right. Well, let's actually get into the podcast. I think on this one, or get into the episode. On this episode, we'll kind of deep dive into each one of us a little bit, tell a little bit of our background, and you know, kind of give a brief summary of up to this point. You know, just kind of let viewers know
How we met.
who we are, how we met, all that good stuff. But I'll show you guys a video, and I know being in Denver, you'll see a lot of this. But have you guys heard of the term crash out?
I have not.
I have
It's,
not
it's a
either.
more modern term, but people say, "Oh,
I guess we're boomers. Sarah.
I know.
And I'm okay with that.
Am I even a millennial? Just
it's like you see it on the internet. Of course, it goes off, but
No, don't turn the TV off.
I have to like reset it. But
you could.
you see a lot on Instagram and stuff. People will be like, "Oh, that guy crashed out," and it's like you're basically freaking out. It's like, "Oh, that guy crashed out."
That guy had a freak out.
Yeah. So have you heard that term?
No.
I see it more and more coming up. It's like, "Oh, that guy's crashing out."
Huh.
So I'll show you guys.
Like,
I'll show
who
you guys a
says-
video of some few crash outs and.
Yeah. I'm with Sarah. Who says this? Crash out.
I'm like, is it Gen Z?
This is like the shit you see him get.
Oh.
Going into like a King Soopers and somebody just walks in.
Just losing their shit.
Yeah.
See, I feel like in my era, that wouldn't have happened because, you know, there's such a lack of respect there.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude would have gotten his shit fucking knocked out.
I would rather have that though because it's physical things rather than
Humans.
humans
Yeah.
hurting
No,
others.
no, I get it. But
Yeah.
still.
Check out.
But there's the sense of entitlement with that too, though.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are that you are so fucking entitled to go just ruin property that's not yours?
Yeah. And you get, I don't know. But you guys want to see a cool way to warm up in the winter?
Yeah.
Sex,
That's the least thing you want.
masturbation.
That's
I could honestly see you trying that with me.
Who, me?
Jason.
Oh, I was like, what are you
I would like have to stop him because he does stuff like that all the time.
Here's a good one for you guys. Is
Is our audience gonna get to see these videos?
I hope so. Eventually, I'm trying to
Okay.
figure out how to do it.
Not eventually. It has to be now.
Yes, because we need to see this shit. Because
Here's a-
what we're watching, we're like, what the hell?
How does Jason see these things?
Here's a good one for your guys' play.
This term for a long-handled gardening tool can also mean immoral pleasure seeker. What's a hoe?
What's a hoe?
What is
They teach you that in school in Utah, huh? What's a rake?
What's a rake? What's a hoe?
we did an awesome puppet show.
Oh, so maybe
We did an awesome puppet show and it was called Planting Seeds and Alex was the star hoe.
no.
The main hoe.
He was the main hoe.
I wasn't. I actually manipulated a puppet.
Yeah.
That was a hoe.
Yes.
And so, yes, I wasn't the hoe. I was
I mean-
the operator of the hoe.
You were both.
You know what? I gave this hoe life.
That was your.
And you know what? Okay, disclaimer, because everybody's gonna be like, "Wow, he's a fucking hoe," and no, I'm not a hoe.
Your title in the.
I'm a rake.
Your title in the script was the hoe.
It was Jose.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it was Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes.
Let's be racist, Sarah.
Sorry.
Jose. Anyway, yeah. See, this is why I love these two because we obviously all three of us come from different backgrounds and but it's almost like we come from very similar backgrounds and similar belief systems, and yet we've managed to come together. It's almost like a
Come
magnet,
together.
and how, and I feel like it's fate,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's almost even divine intervention. When you find your people, you find your people.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah, for sure.
talk about how we met.
You, because you do the best rendition about when we met.
I gotta so we'll let you kind of put your thoughts in the chamber, but I have a cool story I was telling Sarah
All
that I
right.
was thinking of, and since I'm trying to start my handyman business again back home. I remember when I was kind of like mid, about
Experience.
halfway into my handyman kind of career overall. I was working with a major company out here that does a handyman service, and I had a one call to a house, and it was for like a housewife. She was like legit housewife, and showed up, knocked on the door, and she kind of stumbled into the walkway, and I didn't think anything of it, but she was like, "Are you here to help me?" And I told her my name, my spiel. I was like, "All right, well, show me what you need help with." And
She's like,
Walked
I need
in.
my pipes clean.
I knew we were going to say that.
walked in, and she shoved me to the garbage disposal, and
That's like the best porn entry ever. Horny housewives.
and then I was like, "Man, like, I wonder if this lady's drunk," because she was like staggering around trying to like show me stuff.
She could have been having a fucking stroke.
And her eyes were
Hold on.
kind of glossed over and everything. And I was like, I was trying to get out and just do my stuff and get out because I didn't want to like be around her. And
Be an accessory.
I was like, I gotta get my material and I'll be back and I'll fix everything. And I came back and I knocked on the door, and she wasn't answering. I was like, hello. I said hello like probably 20 times, and I like walked in her house and I couldn't find her, and I was like, this is when Sarah kind of told me start showing me true crime stuff too more often. And I was like, this lady could be dead. And I'm like in her house, like trying to look for her. I was like, my fingerprints are like everywhere. And I'm brown. I was like, what's happening?
Brown.
She's a white lady.
And I looked
She's a
at-
lady in general. Just
I looked and I looked, and I was like, hello, like trying to call her name. And here she came up from a room, and she like staggered and like slammed into the door, and she had like a bottle with her, and she was like, oh, it's like, you're back. And she like staggered into the hallway and everything. And
wow.
I ended up fixing everything really quick, and I got out of there. But I was like, holy cow, I was like, I could have been part of a crime scene if she
I would, or something even much more sinister. Like
yeah. I was like, I could have went so sideways, and I got out.
you could have ended up
Unscathed.
still been in her
Yeah.
basement, all freaking gagged and tied. And her fucking. But no, seriously, like when you're in a situation like that, you're just like, all right, what do I do? Like, and maybe piggybacking to our phones, like, do you start recording just for your own protection?
Yeah.
Or documenting, documenting everything at work, or like if you're in an accident,
Well, one
or
of his employers did have him wear a camera.
like a
It's
body cam.
a
It's
body
like
cam.
the ones that cops wear. It was all heavy.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yep. Just to,
But that's good. I mean,
it
think about
just
it.
protects you.
She could have said you knocked her into a wall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was excuse me, she was pretty messed up, but no harm, no foul. I got out, and that was that.
I want that life to be a drunk housewife afternoon.
From Contessa.
Was it a nice house?
Contessa.
God, I'd be horrible, wouldn't I?
I would love to see it.
Me too, kind of.
You'd just be like,
I know.
just watching your wine, just watching a guy bend over and be like, yes. yes.
My luck, I'd be like, oh, God damn it! I told you not to send Frank over again. No,
Oh,
I thought there
man.
were good plumbers. No, yeah. All jokes aside, that's funny.
So yeah, I guess we'll start with you then, Alex.
All right.
So,
So, how Sarah and I met? It's
well, a little bit about your background.
Yeah.
And,
my background.
Yeah.
Poof.
Where were you born?
So I'm a Colorado native. born and raised here. My mom's from Mexico. My dad's from here. I grew up in a my parents were cattle ranchers, and I grew up, at, I don't want to say simple, because it wasn't a simple upbringing. We had a pretty nice operation. I don't know. I feel like I was a little spoiled. Um, I my parents gave us everything that we needed and more. Um, Most of all, love. I think that was super important. Um, I think a lot of people who meet me now and don't know my past or my history, they're like, "There's no fucking way that you grew up on a ranch." And then, I mean, you've seen me in action too,
Yes.
so you're like, "Where did this guy come from?" Like,
He jumped on a horse and
I mean, Johnny, Jason's stepdad, was kind of impressed that I knew how to saddle a horse and what to do, and he was just like, "I thought you were just a city boy," and I was like, "No, this is I know how to buck bales, I know how to work, but I also I, I think we're all very versatile people, and so I think this is my life now, but I can easily transition into that lifestyle, and I hope to go back to it one day. I think there's nothing wrong with the city. If this is for you, then this is for you, and I applaud that. But we have, the country life is absolutely beautiful as well. But yeah, I grew up on a ranch, and then I moved to a larger city when my parents divorced. Was 17, and that was almost like culture shock, in a sense that everything was happening so fast. My parents were divorcing after almost 30 years of marriage. Yeah. So, but I kept it together for my mom and my sister. At least I felt like I did. I've always had this personality that I take things on. So or I like to take care of my people, and I'm very giving in that sense and that aspect. And so, yeah, it was the three of us. Obviously my dad was in the picture as well, and and all that stuff, and other family members. So yeah, moving forward, graduated high school, went to college.
where'd you go to college?
Do we have to say where we're from and all that stuff? I
No,
just don't want to
I
get
mean,
too personal.
Okay,
So
fine.
yeah, no, I first generation college student out of my family, out of my family unit from my parents. I went to the community college, and then moved up to Denver, and kind of find I knew who I was then as a child, but obviously in my head and what was around me at that time was or I thought, because of what I heard and I saw, that you can't be an openly gay man, or you can't be gay and being Catholic and Latino and living on a ranch, and you have to be a man, and this is what a man looks like. And so I think when I moved to Denver, that kind of just was a little liberating. And then I moved here, and 2 months later my dad passed away. I saw my dad, that was probably it was a very beautiful experience, and I don't want to sound macabre or weird, but for me, this man got to see me come into the world, and I was there to help him transition with a lot of love and grace and light and compassion and warmth and all that good stuff. So that for me was it was eye-awakening. But then, being young too and still trying to figure yourself out, I was mad at God for a bit. But yeah, and so finally came out, went back in, because it was just it's a lot. And so when I finally decided to come out again and get a divorce from my wife,
Woo!
yeah, like I said, came out, went back in, and then finally came out and didn't really know what relationships in this arena of who I am now look like. So it's been definitely a lot of hit and miss, and I'm still trying to figure it out, and I think we're always trying to figure it out because there's always going to be situations in our lives that will stump us, or that will make us really think about, okay, is this where I'm supposed to be right now? And so yeah, I guess what I'm leading up to is that, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a son, I'm a grandson, I'm a nephew. I'm a lot of things. But for me I guess I'm trying to still figure out who I am to me.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of difficult, but yeah, I've had a lot of loss in my life, and I've had a lot of love in my life, and beautiful things. And September, everyone, is National Suicide Awareness Month. I know that we are at the end of the month, but this is a topic that is very near and dear to me. Sorry, but we lost my nephew 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And probably one of the most amazing human beings I've ever known. And I apologize if I get emotional, but that's what these podcasts are for, real content.
Yeah.
It's not scripted. So my Moises was an amazing, amazing young man. And not just because he was my nephew, but because he was. And unfortunately, we lost him to suicide. And suicide is one of those topics that we do not talk about because it's uncomfortable, or it's taboo. It's really taboo, and in many cultures. And I think it's something that we need to really focus on and talk about, because this needs to stop, and these conversations need to start, and they need to start somewhere. Yeah, it's been a big like, I've lost my grandparents, I've lost my dad, but losing this boy has impacted me the most out of anything out of my life. And we're left behind thinking, what could I have done? Or, that guilt, that survivor's guilt. And, when we have these conversations, and maybe some of you out there have experienced this, reach out to us. There are people to talk to. There are groups to talk to. Or if you're even having ideology, we're all human. I know I have, and especially with coming out, and life is tough, but there's always, always, always light at the end of the tunnel. Find somebody to talk to. That's why I'm always the person I am. I'll smile at people on the street. I don't know what, sometimes we put on a happy face. Like, I'm always on,
Mm-hmm.
Look at Robin Williams.
Yeah.
He was the funniest guy ever, and all his demons, And I feel like sometimes the people who are the most sad are the ones who have the best mask on, that are always putting on the best smile, and who are always the ones who are the most loving and giving. And so just take care of one another, be present, check in, even check in with your friends who are the most happy.
Yeah.
and this is why I love you guys, because I can always call you even when I'm on my edge, and I'm like, Sarah, Jason, I'm fucking freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm there, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be depressed, and depression is real. So, yeah, I young people, older people, whomever, it's sad to lose somebody this way. I think it's devastating. And so, and especially when you don't have answers, and then sometimes there is. And I mean, I could talk about this for hours, just because I've lived it, and I'm living it, and I will continue to live it for the rest of my life. And so, for the medical providers who are out there watching, listen to your patients. You've taken that Hippocratic oath. This is your arena. Listen to your patients. They're not just a number. They're not just an insurance claim. Teachers, educators, bosses, HR. Listen to your people. Parents, look at your kids, listen to them, hug them. Even if they're teenagers, and there's a lot of pushback because teenagers are assholes, but as a former educator, but yeah, no, just listen. I think slow down. And, again, at the end of the day, life is so fragile. And, I think if anything I can reach out to our audience or the masses is, just love is beautiful, and mental health is super important. And, yeah, sorry. But, Moises, I'll always love you. You're always in my heart. I see you in the sky and in a lot of things. And I'm in education right now, and I see a lot of my students in him, or him and my students, sorry. And you guys get the gist. But, I get emotional a lot of the time when I'm interacting with these kids, and I see the kids who don't have that support, and you can see it in their eyes immediately, because, again, I've lived it. I know what it looks like. So I guess a little more information on Moises, or back, he had a head injury at school like several months before that. And, his doctors are like, oh, he's fine. He's a teenager, blah, blah, blah. It's almost like the footballers getting the tackle injuries, the head injuries. And for a young man, apparently for young men, it's something that's a lot more prevalent to have this frontal lobe or whatever head injury. And, my sister, God bless her, and she's an amazing mom and an amazing human. And, she was very proactive with him, and she, he told her, Mom, I don't feel right. Something's wrong. And she took him to an institution, a local place, and, I felt like he was dismissed, and we can go on different levels. I mean, you guys know, and that is out there. It happens to people. If you don't have a certain insurance, or your skin color is not right, or last name or whatever, you're getting shuffled. And that's what happened to my boy. And I advocated for him and unfortunately that wasn't enough, because they weren't willing to do enough or more, or the minimum. I felt like they did less than the minimum.
Yeah.
And when I reached out to them to let them know that we lost Moises, they didn't even have the common courtesy to reach out to me with any condolences, with anything, because obviously it was a liability. And I just wanted something, just an acknowledgement. And I just said, hey, listen to your patients.
Yeah.
Listen, they're people. So, sorry for being a Debbie Downer, but again, this topic is super important and something that has to be talked about. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. And we have to, there has to be a change. There has to be something done because we can't just keep on losing people daily because this is a daily thing. And for somebody to feel so at their wit's end, or that's the last option that they have, is just scary to me because there are other options. And again, yeah, so yeah, thanks guys. And I want to say thank you guys to you, for listening to my story and being there. I mean, being part of that story. I remember when it happened, Sarah and Jason were just so beautiful about it. And Sarah, they're such of service, these two right here in their families, that Sarah just immediately asked, what can we do? We'll be there. And I asked Sarah to ask Jason if he could do something ceremonial. And yes, and so when we were there, our services were Catholic, and so before we put Moises in his final resting spot. Jason said some beautiful words, and I don't really remember that day because I was just so, it was a lot, but I remember that. And Jason made him some choke cherry juice for the afterlife.
Yes.
To nourish him in the afterlife. And that, to me, I felt good about that because he was able to, in my heart of hearts, I know that that's with him. And I know he was like, that's cool. And so, yeah, it's just, you guys have been my rock, my cornerstone for a lot of things. You guys get to hear all my drama, but like the real stuff, I mean, you guys have always been there. And my sister is she doesn't bring people in. And you guys, it was like the smoothest thing. Like you guys were already just family.
Yeah.
And so we're hanging out tonight. And so that's something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, that's my story. I think I'm a little more complex, but yeah, that's yeah. I love you guys.
We love you.
I love you.
Number two, man.
Aw.
I think it's tough in this world, because I guess I'll start with kind of my background and stuff, but to hop into what you're talking about, just because before I met Sarah, I lived on Pine Ridge Res with my relatives in South Dakota. I learned a lot, and that's what kind of helped me like figure out who I was, because I was lost a lot of my life. I didn't have a father or anything, and no real guidance. I had my mom, but she was worrying about taking care of us, me and my sister. And I kind of had to figure out a lot of things on my own. But I gained grandpas and uncles and brothers, father figures through living there. And a lot of things I know I experienced and seen living there was a lot of kids wanted to commit suicide. A lot of kids wanted to take their lives because they didn't think there was any other way to go on, and usually it's from drugs and alcohol. They see it with their families and they get abused, or something as simple as losing your boyfriend or girlfriend, and it just affects you because you have no real way to regulate your emotions. And your parents maybe not even in the picture, or just kind of mean about it, or whatever the case may be. It was usually in the home environments where there wasn't a lot of spirituality. And I say that because I'm trying to I live my life in not a you have to be this way or this way. It's more or less how do you see the world, and how do you take the things you know and apply it to that way you see things. Because it happens in natives and people that live here too. I notice it. We people get stuck in the white man's way of thinking, where they only care about themselves. It's more about money. It's, it's like a selfish way of being. And even natives here, I'll hear about it sometimes. We hear about it how like they'll do things just to get ahead, but they want to act like they're a community. I think that's why it was kind of hard for me to be here when we lived here. But with me, it's tough at times too. But I try to see the world in the way I know, which would be like a Lakota perspective, a Shoshone perspective. It's a way of just seeing the world. It's not trying to like, I got to do this to meet certain expectations. It's just the way I see the world, and I try to do it, even though it's hard. Because, it's not easy being a good relative, as they say. Saying, "Hey, I'll be there to help you do this," but when it comes time to do it, then it's easy to back out and be like, "Oh, I can't do it." But we try to do our best to be like, "Well, we'll help you, even though it's inconvenient."
Hmm.
And anyways, getting back to the whole suicide thing, it suicide, from the way I've seen it, isn't scientific or medical. It's all spiritual, because these young men and women, they see things that we can't see, because sometimes they're still in that state. They're pure almost. I mean, when you turn a teenager, you kind of lose that purity, because some people have sex. You and even like in a native culture, once you reach a certain age, you transition into something else. Because kids like 3-year-olds, infants, toddlers, they're pure. They're not used to like seeing or being around these things that kind of like overwhelm us as people. So, um, I know it's spiritual, because me and my brother, he has a dream to help people, basically. Um, that's all I'll say about it, because there's levels to it, basically. And he got asked to go smudge a house, go help this young lady that we knew. And she actually heard the spirit in her room that exists when it comes to suicide. And she showed us a video. Even she was sitting there in her room, it was dark, and she was talking to social media or whatever, and she was asking her audience, should I do it? It's probably something she's gonna do on the internet. And in the back of her closet, you could hear a man say, "Do it." So she got freaked out and went over there. He smudged the house, and because alcohol, drugs were in the house, kind of a hard environment to be in for a young woman. But we have a teaching from our grandpa that there's a man and a woman that exist, that attached to young men and women, that kind of push them towards doing that. And when you don't have a good spiritual background or a way of prayer, like, it's easy for young men and women to get overwhelmed, and they end up, unfortunately, completing their suicide. And I don't think we can even say suicide on YouTube. I don't know, but
Oh, geez.
oh well.
Well, it's Suicide Awareness Month, so.
But I just thought of that. But anyways, yeah, it's tough knowing that a lot of men and women, they don't have that um that form of prayer to help them when things get tough. Because me, even though I'm grounded, and I'm more aware of my emotions and everything, I have a hard time being in this world sometimes. I I do get overwhelmed by seeing everything. I don't know what it is, because even Sarah's into the whole like number thing, like your life has like a
Number
certain,
charts.
Yeah.
your life has a certain number to.
He's a life path 9.
I'm a 9, and even when I read it, she showed me the first time I read it. It's like they have a hard time wanting to be here,
Mhm.
like in this world. They have a hard time.
I think I was kind of similar to that too, and it's a struggle.
Yeah. I don't know what it is because I have my form of prayer. I have my outlet. I have my way of overcoming difficulties. But when it gets hard, like that's all I can think about is like I really wish I wasn't here because it's hard, and I get overwhelmed. And luckily, I have my wife and my son and my family relatives and my way of life that I do to help myself and my family. But it does get hard at times. Like even me, like if I wasn't scared if I wasn't scared of leaving, and if there wasn't that afterthought of what's next, I probably would have done it at some point.
Yeah.
Like it's just so simple to do, but I know that like that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't help anybody. That just hurts your family. And
The residuals of
Yeah.
it, yeah, and having lived it and living it,
yeah,
it's I mean, it's easy to think about it, but then you don't think about the devastation that follows.
so it is unfortunate that Moises left the way he did, because it was probably just a few seconds of like that thought, like, oh shoot, then it happened. And then like, you know, it's tough to even think about that because it's like so many what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And like it's tough. It's tough to say, well, this is what he could have done. But that's not even the case. It's just like all you can do is pray for him and hope that like things are better for him
absolutely.
while he's like in the spirit world, because you know
And you know that
it is
we're very spiritual, and we've had our conversations of the afterlife, and like I know he's come to visit me
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Yeah.
several occasions, and I think, and I won't get to, because we may have some people who are like are non-believers, which is fine, but the people who have experienced that, it's like I've talked to him like we're talking, like, whoa, this is, or the day of his funeral when I walked into the house and I was like, oh God, I'm home. And before I even turned the light on, I heard him say, bet, uncle. And I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, wait, like it took 2 seconds. I was like, okay, fight or flight.
Yeah.
I could either grab my luggage and go back to my sister's house, which is 2 hours away, and then I thought, like, I just took a second and I was like, okay, it's him. And I just said, buddy, I'm tired. I love you. Come to me in my dreams.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but
It's tough. It's tough to even talk about that stuff, and I'm sure there's a reason why, but people should be more open to the fact that it does happen. It's not. It is environmental, but it is also spiritual. And I think it's just environmental.
Yeah.
It's both. They go hand in hand, and
yeah, no, and mental health too. I mean, and mental health is big, and we need to get over that men don't cry, and men, we shouldn't have feelings and all this other stuff, and be able to have community with one another. It's not gay to hug your friend. I saw Jason today, and and this is what we do. I give him a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. Obviously, Sarah will cut me.
I would.
But no, it's just, and that's how I was raised. A lot of love. So
we can go about another 20 minutes, and then
well, Sarah has to tell her story.
I'll do a brief overview of mine, because
Okay, sorry.
mine's pretty
Yeah,
simple. And
go ahead.
Sarah's, after meeting Sarah and like getting to know her, hers is pretty deep too. So I was like, I don't really, I have hardship, but I honestly didn't have that much hardship growing up. So it's like interesting to see like the way I think about things and then the way she thinks about things. Cause like her life was really hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, just from hearing and stuff. But I mean, just for me, I grew up on the reservation all my life in Wyoming, before Wind River Reservation. Um, my dad left when I was 10. I remember I would the way I connect that memory is I always think about have you watched the Smoke Signals, the Native American movie?
I started watching it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene where what's his name? It's not Thomas, it's
His dad?
Victor.
Yeah.
Victor, the main character in there. His dad got done abusing his mother in the house
Oh,
because
yeah,
she was
yeah.
drunk. That didn't happen to me, but his dad got in his car and Victor was trying to run after him and say like stay, like don't leave, dad. And
It's that. I've never heard this story, so thank you.
yeah, that's what my dad did basically. Like I'm pretty sure they argued that morning and my dad got in his truck and just like left, never came back. And that's kind of like what I correlate that memory with, is that's kind of what happened. Not to that extent, but
Didn't his dad say poof or something?
no, that was a previous scene.
Oh.
But, like when they were fighting and everything, he just like got in his truck and like headed out and never seen him again. And yeah, I mean, I'm 32 now, about to be 33 in a few months, and I think I've only heard from my father like maybe 10 times in my life, 11. I think the last time I seen him and spoke to him kind of is when Anna was born,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe 10 months in.
Yeah.
We seen him in Kansas
Yeah.
because my sister was running cross country.
Wow.
He got to hold Anna, and that was it. I never seen him or talked to him again. And
May I ask you something personal, or
yeah, go for it.
how did you feel when he held your son, your creation?
I think it was good. It's his grandpa, and I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't see him.
Right,
You were
right.
never here or whatever. Like, growing up without him, it was weird because I was like numb to the sense where like it didn't bother me, which it should have. I feel like I should have been mad or whatever. I just
That's what we do. It's a defense mechanism.
I just lived my life and I didn't think about it. It was weird. Like I never got mad. I never got sad. Even when I got older and I was able to process my emotions better, or just the thought of it, like I'm still not mad at him. I understand that he had things he went through and hardships and whatnot. So I think my mom said he got abused too as a kid. I was like, well, he went through trauma that he didn't heal and he didn't know how to handle it. And, it's just, it sucked, but it is what it is. And, from 10 till high school, I was chubby. I was a chubby guy.
No.
Yeah.
Shut up. I want
I
to
was
see
pretty,
pictures.
I was pretty chunky. I'll show you next time, but
This is a Jason that I don't even
Yeah.
know, so you guys are very lucky.
so she seen a picture of me the other day at my mom's house. She's like, "This doesn't look like you." I was pretty chubby.
As a teen?
Yeah. Or preteen, like freshman year of high school.
Okay, so you're barely going through puberty, so you're losing that baby weight
He
then.
lost it
fifth to freshman year of high school. Quiet, backwards, chubby.
You were that chubby, dorky res kid.
I had blonde hair.
No. Eating nachos.
Maybe I'll upload a
Hot
picture.
Cheetos.
Please do.
I'll upload a picture on the websites and stuff.
I think we should all
Socials.
pull up my
Oh,
senior picture. I
God.
love my senior picture. Talk about a narcissist.
Played video games, stayed at home. Freshman year of high school, start doing sports more.
Okay.
Got skinny. Was more talkative, but still very quiet. And
You discovered your penis and what it could do.
Make a baby.
yeah, just had an interesting high school life. I wasn't rebellious, but I just wanted to have fun because I didn't drink or smoke or anything. I was just trying to have fun and be around friends. And my mom was kind of being the oldest out of me and my sister, because my sister was 10 and I was, when I was 10, she was being born. So when I was 18, she was 8.
Jeez.
So I was not the guinea pig per se, but I was the brunt of my mom's learning curve.
And the first child is. The
Yeah.
firstborn is.
She was really hard on me, and I made poor choices, and unfortunately, and it's not her fault. It's just the circumstances of our environment. When she'd get mad at me, she'd kind of enable me. So like, I'd get in trouble, get a slight punishment, and I would go out and make another poor choice. The cycle would happen, and I learned that if I could manipulate my words to a certain extent, like I wouldn't get in trouble. Like,
Flying
Yeah.
under the radar.
because I didn't like getting yelled at, but that was the way my mom solved things. So I would manipulate my words to say the right things so she wouldn't yell at me. That's all. That's the only thing I didn't want was her to not yell at me.
Right.
Yeah, got done high school, went to college in Montana, Kansas, back to Montana, and then graduated from Haskell 2015, from 2012 2015. That's a native school in Kansas.
Oh, nice.
Before that though, I got a scholarship to play at SKC in Montana for basketball, but I ended up getting a knee injury. Completely jacked up my knee, couldn't walk for a year. Went to rehab. I'll talk about it more maybe next episode, but if it comes up, had to do the whole shaboodle. I had to sit in a freaking machine that bent my leg for 6 months. Was on crutches for 3 just to move around, and then did rehab for like 3 months, and I was finally able to like actually just walk. Did all that. I wanted to play basketball, try to get strong again. I did. I made the team, but played for a little bit too. But my coach kind of ruined it for me. I didn't want to play basketball anymore after that. After doing it for 12 years.
Wasichu?
No, he was a native guy, but he was kind of backwards. He was weird.
Did he try to touch you?
No. I wasn't one of those.
Sorry, guys.
And at this point, I was lost. I didn't know who I was. I had no real goals or ambitions. I was just kind of going with the flow. I grew up with that. Go to school, get a job, you'll live good. I lived by that form of being, or that model of living, because that's what my mom did. She worked at a school for 30 years, and when she did her time, she was done. Like, that was just a couple of years ago. But
Now
she
she's
was
living her
in a
best
school for
life.
almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Went to school. That was my outlet to get to school, was basketball. And once that ended, I was like, well, like, what do I do? I graduated with an associate's in science for community health, but it's like, what do you do with that? Because it's like, it's the ground level of entering the medical field in any which way. So it's like,
I did not know that either.
yeah.
Who are you?
It's like, I wanted to study kinesiology, what my sister's
Kinesiology.
doing, like
Yeah.
sports medicine, kinesiology, strength training. I wanted to study all that, but my mind isn't capable of doing things like that. I'm not a good student.
Why?
Um,
I'm in higher ed, and I tell my students this all the time. I'm like, if, we're all lifelong learners, and if it's at your pace, then it's at your pace.
I think it's just not my style. Since you know me, I use my hands more than my actual brain. So it's
You
just
need your actual brain.
it's just
It's
not
both. It's a combo.
Not really, because
You're a
like
smart man. I mean,
Okay, so he builds things in our house, and he legit like cuts them, matches them up, and is able to make them work. No matter how much I use my brain, I would not be able to do that. So yes, you use your brain.
so like I mean, like, I don't use my brain because I don't use it through books. I use it through visual. I use it through seeing with my hands. I use it through numbers of,
but that's calculation.
well, it's like small increments of measurement. Like, I can't remember the femur, the fibula, the tibula. Like,
You just said them.
But that's, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And you pointed to the correct area.
I know femur, but like even then you have to remember like
Well, yeah, but that's
the muscles, the bones.
But that's like
yeah.
these preachers and pastors who are like really spit freaking Bible verses. I mean, it's all learned memory.
Yeah.
It's like
It's-
basketball.
It's a part of
It's all it's
Yeah.
all.
Maybe I just that wasn't my path then, because I wasn't.
It wasn't then you right then
yeah,
and
it
there.
just wasn't your path.
I wasn't motivated to like do all that, because I even went to KU and took like a class of like 500 people for like anatomy, and I didn't finish because I couldn't do it because I was like in a big auditorium.
Well,
Yeah.
and that could be another thing because
Yeah.
I know you don't like being around a lot of crowds, and
I was like, I don't think I can do this. So, yeah, graduated, tried to go to school again for just some random degree, 'cause I was like, well, I could just go to school and figure something out, and I dropped out. Moved to Durango for a little bit. That was an interesting period of time. It was like 6 months, 3 months, something like that. And just trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I was lost. I was like, who am I? What value do I bring to the world? And yeah, then I moved back home for like a month to Fawashki, and my brother was like, well, come with me to South Dakota. Like, I'm gonna go down there, live there for a bit, and I did. I just said, well, I'm gonna go to South Dakota and live with my brother, and that's when I learned who I am, all the values I have. I learned how to be a man to help myself and my family and my relatives, and yeah, that's probably like the most not difficult part of my life, because I didn't really have I didn't have hardship. It was weird. Like, I didn't really struggle through anything. It's just more of like internal and struggle. Like,
Mhm.
that's all I had was like internal. My mom gave me everything I wanted, enabled me, like, I had a car at a young age and like all these things to help me in life. But I took a path that I didn't want to take. Or I took a path that led me up to a certain point, but then just like kind of fell off a cliff. Like, what do I do now?
you took a path that was almost preordained for, not even preordained for you, that was already set up for you, that you thought you had to take without really, because you were on autopilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once I met Sarah,
Mama, no.
Let's not talk about that.
we I think when I left
Sorry.
South Dakota, that was like middle of the pandemic. I met Sarah, and I still really didn't have anything to offer, but she gave me a chance.
How did we meet?
We met via Snapchat.
I was listening to
I slipped
what is
my
that?
fingers.
What's that song?
Smack my bitch.
Remember that song? I told you it was like
Oh, once upon a time I was falling in
Yeah.
love.
Oh,
No.
Lord.
so that,
Total eclipse of the heart.
Yes, and there was like I was looking up at the moon. I remember-
Crying. And
No, it was an evening I was spending with my niece, and I received a DM from him, and I just kind of brushed him off and was not going to communicate or anything.
I was trying to neg her. Do you know the phrase negging? Like
No.
negative negging? Like, I try to insult you to be
Oh, you were
endearing.
being like a third grader
He-
trying to flirt
he
by throwing a
critiqued-
rock at her.
He critiqued my kettlebell swing, and I just totally was like, nope.
I was trying to be endearing through negativity, like trying to tease her, but she didn't take it too well, and I had to like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
mean it that way.
sorry.
I like your kettlebell swing, and your glutes look really good.
I think it was something like that too. But
Mm.
I met Sarah, fell in love, got married. Well, had a baby first, got married.
He did propose before we had a baby, or
Yeah.
I knew I was pregnant.
Once Sarah tells you her past, you'll understand why that happened. But
Margaritas.
more or less the marriage part, you'll understand why
Yeah.
that happened. But are the sequence of events that transpired.
Yes.
So once I met Sarah, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, well, how do I make money to provide for another person and the family that was coming eventually. And I finally started being a handyman. And that's where I learned how to use my hands better. I learned like I was able to see things, understand it, and apply it really fast. And I was a handyman. I went to school for HVAC. Um, did odd jobs every now and then. Like I was part of a moving company here in Denver. Did solar. Um, but mostly handyman stuff. That's what helped me like understand like, oh shit, like I wish I would have did this at a younger age and been like a plumber, electrician, or whatever. Like I would have been so ahead of the game if I did it at a young age. But
Right.
no, nobody showed me.
Can I tell you something? Another thing too of being in education and being just in this society.
Yeah.
We really demonize these blue collar jobs, which
Yeah.
is so unfortunate and so sad because right now some of these blue collar jobs make more than white collar jobs. Look at these welders. They're making
Yeah.
$75,000, $100,000 a year. Plumbers, HVAC. I mean, I was on campus not too long ago, and some dude, and I'm 5'5". I'm a short guy, and I think these are just life skills that we should all know how to do. And this grown ass man, big guy, was just staring at his flat tire, and I was like, "Hey man,
What?
do you need some help?" And he was like, "No, I called AAA," and I was like,
Why don't
"Do you not have a spare tire?" And he's like, kind of looked at me all baffled. I was like, "Look, open your trunk. That's a spare tire,
Wow.
and this is a jack." And I was like, "I can help you out, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a teachable moment
Yeah.
for you." And I grew up again on a ranch, so these weren't things that, I mean, these were just daily things that we had to do. So to me, it's baffling. And I know that this almost is going to sound sexist or whatever, but again, I think every dude should be able to fucking change a flat tire, and every woman. But I will help a woman like my sister. She's a badass too. She does all of her car work and like, and you go to her house and her house is clean and beautiful and
This house is clean.
this house is clean. No. But again, like that's how we were raised, like to be self-sufficient.
I gotta go potty real quick, guys.
Oh,
You didn't even
no.
finish telling your story.
I'm going to.
All right, Sarah, let's talk.
I'm gonna wait so he could pause it and then restart
Oh, did he
it.
pause it?
He's gonna edit it.
Okay.
Edit it.
I
I gotta go pee too. We did a check-in. We did your good one. Background origin. Okay, and we talked about suicide. So
Skoden.
let's go.
Let me get something to drink.
Okay. I need to go pee.
Pee in Jason's mouth.
Ew.
That's hot.
So
I know, girl. So they're just coming in for dinner.
oh, okay.
Should we go out to dinner? I mean, No, let's order pizza.
Okay.
Or what do you guys want to do?
I haven't decided yet. I've been concentrating on our podcast.
Jason, just patties.
He must have. That was fast. You can't hold your pee anymore?
Shit, I didn't get a chance to go get really something.
You should text your sister to see where she's at.
I could wait.
God damn it!
What?
I did a chain reaction of everybody having to go pee now.
No, I don't. I'll pee in this can.
Now I gotta edit
That's
all
fine.
this shit out.
Hey, you did it.
So I had to go pee. My nose starting to hurt. You didn't shake it off good enough. That's okay.
Trying to do one more.
This one feels very organic.
I'm trying to do one more.
One more? So that's your pistol. So that Texas system.
You could go like 30 minutes or 45.
Yeah.
So I learned that the thing with Instagram is, uh, it's okay to post one video every 2 weeks, but it's good to do like a couple at a time, because then you can start inserting up
Um,
stuff. Because like you can try to play the algorithm and stuff like there's everybody that has an opinion on YouTube, but one of the common themes is like be so be so noticeable that you force people to engage with you.
right. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you edit that part out, or if we can, or is this edit? So do you go through the whole video and edit? This may be a little triggering for my sister, like when we were talking about my-
What time did it start? It stopped at 10 minutes. Babe, did it stop at 10 minutes?
That's all right. We can just do it.
Why are you mad at me? Don't look.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, oh my god.
We'll just do it while you.
Okay. Damn, that's weird.
Oh, the audio's there,
The audio's there. Yeah.
but if you can get the
Maybe if you could put in like videos, I don't know. How are you gonna do it for YouTube?
But there was something that I caught that and I know that you guys know how Moises went out,
Yeah.
but you said, before he took his shot or whatever, I think there was something like that. Because I'm sure she's gonna watch this, and I don't want it to be more triggering for her.
Yeah.
But okay.
Damn.
That was Moises fucking with us. That's exactly what that was.
I wonder when it started.
I think this is good. I probably gotta get a bit better. Maybe just go back to regular camera. Okay. Well, we're almost done with this. We'll just do the audio. Let's probably do one more. It's telling Alex that we should try and do it.
We should try to do another one.
Tomorrow? Oh.
So I'm saying that we're sisters.
Should we change your outfits?
Maybe. What is she? Or not? I guess we're not. Okay. Let's finish up.
Far on fucking camera.
All right.
Should I turn this off?
Yeah. Yeah, turn it off.
Do you guys want any jerky or anything?
Mm-mm.
No, good.
Sit down. Sit down, motherfucker.
Okay, come on.
This is just audio.
Even now, it's just audio? Okay.
And we're back.
Quick potty break. But yeah, like for me, I learned a lot of things through using my hands. I got my CDL a few months ago, or gee, almost a year now ago,
Yeah.
about 8 months. That really helped, and I was like, man, like, I wish I just would have known these things at a younger age. It would have helped a lot. And then, yeah, that's where I'm at now. Just driving, trying to figure it out. And like I said, I like my job, but it's really, really demanding. And I know I can do other things, but it pays well. But I just want more freedom to be there for my family, even though the whole point of doing this job was to provide for my family. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And you're a good provider, I will say that. You know, both you're a good husband,
That's right.
you're a good dad. And you know, there are several books on this. But you know, being a parent, it just comes from your soul. Being a good husband, it comes from your soul. Being a good human, it comes from your soul. And I love you. And you're my brother. You know, I have two biological brothers and a half brother, and you're my brother.
Mhm.
You're my brother.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. So yeah, well, do you want to give the extended version, or do you want to,
Mine.
condense it down, or
Um.
because we could save it, or we could go, or whatever you wanted.
Because they're on their way up.
Oh.
Oh, now.
Upstairs.
No, they're
Oh.
Denver.
Oh.
On their way up to Denver.
Okay.
Oh,
Or to Colorado. Up here. Yeah.
Okay.
Gee, they didn't leave.
No, they're probably driving, and the way Nick drives scares me.
Okay. Yeah, it scares me too. Not a big fan of that drive.
No, the way Nick drives.
Oh. Even me driving. So.
Jason scares me driving, but Nick is scarier.
Okay. Do you want to ask me, or do I just start?
Why do you make?
On today's
Like-
show, Sarah Ortegon Highwalking. She's going to tell us a little bit more about herself and what titillates her.
I don't feel very like I should do this because you're being mean.
I'm not being mean. You're
Mhm.
like,
You just shook your head at me.
you're like,
Stop. Here we go.
you're not very media like ready sometimes.
We talked about that in the other podcast.
What's that?
Jason, when he's ready to go, he's out the door. And
True.
Sarah's like,
Like-
you and I, Sarah and I are a lot of like, we're a bundle of fucking emotions and feelings. And the thing is, we're like, and we get our feelings hurt easily. If you look at us wrong, or we think you're looking at us wrong, we're like, what the fuck? Why are you looking at me like that? I don't get it. What do you mean by that look?
Even, like-
Alrighty.
Even
So
like, no, even when like you did your one media like interview with like your art and stuff, that guy that came to the house and like interviewed you, you were like, "Can we start over again? Can we start over again? Can we start over again?" I didn't like that one. Just go, babe.
Aw, he called you babe.
Just
after I punch your face.
Oh my God. This is what I have to live with.
Okay. So I'm pulling the microphone closer because I just feel like I have to bend over.
Ole.
Okay. So, story time. So I am number 10 out of 12 children. My mom was born on the Wind River Reservation in Wyoming, and my dad is from Denver, Colorado. Basically, my dad was a preacher, and my mom was 16 when they met, and my dad got my mom pregnant, and they got married. And then the whole entire thing of how I grew up was the woman was to be subservient to her husband. And so my mom never worked in her life. She actually didn't graduate high school. Neither did my dad. But he was a preacher. And so that's how life went. They had 6 boys, 6 girls. I'm number 10 of 12. And it was a very strict upbringing. I had to wear skirts my entire life. I was not vaccinated. I was exempt from gym because I wore skirts, so I couldn't play in gym. And so I think that I felt like I was kept out of a lot of things that could have helped me shine. Like, I felt like I could have been, even though I'm clumsy now, I felt like I could have really been good at some sort of sport growing up. I was a huge tomboy. I would always get in trouble hanging out with the boys. They'd be like, get back inside and do the dishes. They would like count down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the higher or they would count up higher, and the higher they got in numbers, I would have to do more dishes.
Jeez.
And so we had a 3-bedroom house, 12 kids. All the girls stayed in the basement. All the boys stayed upstairs. So it was very separated. We only had one bathroom. We weren't poor by any means. Definitely, like we had food on the table every day. My mom cooked. Every day she cooked breakfast, lunch, dinner. I was not allowed to go to school until we had to go to school, to public school in Denver. And then we spent our summers on the res with my aunt and uncle, George and Shirley. And my home life with my mom and dad, my mom, I think, was what helped me be the person that I am today. But the influence of my dad also, of course, influenced who I am. But I don't know if that was a good influence. And so I grew up thinking that women aren't supposed to go to college. Women are to be barefoot in the kitchen and cook for their husbands and have kids. And so that's actually not what I wanted to do. I was always really, I don't know if I was really good at art or if it was, I think it was because I was able to be quiet, but also express myself in ways that I couldn't as when I was growing up, because the entire thing as a woman in my household was to be quiet, and to be meek and quiet was the thing that was rained down on us on a daily basis as a girl. And so, of course, that's what I did. I tried to always disappear into the background. In high school, I was a girl that wore large sweatshirts and ugly skirts. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want anyone to acknowledge me. I was voted most quiet, but I also had best hair.
You still do.
Thank you. And so that's how I was raised. My dad was fire and brimstone. Like, the fear of God was put into all of us. He was also a Marine. And so you combine preacher and Marine into a father, and you basically have Robert De Niro yelling at you every day. That's what it felt like. We had to make our beds every morning perfectly.
It was a very militant.
It was a very militant household. And
the fear of God.
With the fear of God. It wasn't just military. It was like, God's going to punish you if you do anything bad, and he's going to know about it. And so that's how we were raised, and that was normal to me. And then I started going to school, and I started understanding that that was not necessarily how everyone else was raised. My dad didn't allow me to go over other people's houses. We were very kind of like secluded into our own home, even though we were in Denver. But going to visit my aunt and uncle in Wyoming was, I think, one of my saving graces in life. George was the sweetest man to my Auntie Shirley. He, I remember towards the end right before they had passed, I made them dinner one time, and she was getting so fragile. They were in their 80s, and I made them dinner, and he was making sure that she was eating every bite, and it was just, and the way that he would joke with her, because he was, he was enrolled Shoshone and she was enrolled Arapaho, and there's always that the jokes in between them, and he would
The playful tension.
yeah, the playful tension that I saw. And it was like, and we got to play outside in the river. We got to play outside with the rocks. We made dirt hills and came home with warts, and we were some dirty.
Edit that out.
We were some dirty kids during the summer.
But you were happy.
But we were happy, and my dad wasn't there. And so we weren't scared to be kids. We would run up to Sacagawea's gravesite, run back, and it was just, I think, the freest part of my childhood, and that helped make the basis of I could be different than what my dad showed me to be growing up. And my older brothers and sisters didn't experience that because my dad connected back with my aunt and uncle when I was around 3 years old. And so I think that that was the saving grace for my younger siblings and I. I have 2 younger brothers, other than my older brothers and sisters. And then I decided to go to college. I got disowned by my dad when I was 17 because I had a boyfriend. He found out that I was no longer a virgin. That came out during church.
How
one
did that
evening.
happen with an ugly skirt?
I don't know, honestly. Like,
Being gay, and I lost my virginity to a girl, and she was not in an ugly skirt.
well, actually, the guy that I lost my virginity to, I found out he is
You
also
should have.
okay. Never mind.
Playing for their team.
He's playing for the other team now. Maybe both teams. I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we don't want to incriminate
Yeah.
other people's
Yeah,
lives.
no. It's so where was I?
No, you got disowned.
So I got
Lost
disowned was
virginity.
when I was 17 because I had lost my virginity. And so I moved in with my boyfriend at the time.
May I ask a question? How did
Yeah.
they find out you lost your virginity?
So my dad was preaching one night and he was going hard on thou shalt not commit adultery, I think that night. Something, it's recorded because my dad used to record his things. And so I'm pretty sure it's recorded somewhere. And I stood up and I said,
That's a podcast. Podcasting before podcasting was a thing.
I stood up and I admitted to losing my virginity in front of the entire church
Why?
because I felt so guilty.
Oh my God.
And I was like, God already knows, so I might as well just admit it, right? At that
To the
point,
entire
congregation. Yes.
Talk about, abuse.
Yeah. So then my dad told me to get out. He never wanted to see me again. And I grabbed as much clothes as I could that night and I left out the back door, out the back gate. There's no longer a gate there because there's a garage back there now. And I decided to never come back, even though I knew it like broke my heart to not be able to see my mom anymore. And so I moved in with my boyfriend and I started working at 7-Eleven, which was down the block from where my parents lived. And my mom realized that I was working there and she would come visit me at 7-Eleven.
I know the story, yeah.
So that was a nice relief, and it was like a special treat to be able to see my mom during that time.
Because she was barred from seeing
She was
you.
barred from seeing me too. I couldn't call home, and then I didn't have a car, so sometimes I took the bus to college, which was Metro, or sometimes I walked from where we lived all the way down to Metro. Yeah. So, and he lived 2 blocks away from where I lived. And so I would, where 7-Eleven is off of 38th in Elcott. You could edit that part out.
Yes.
So I would walk to school, or I would take the bus. And then eventually I lied to my dad and I told him I got married to my ex-boyfriend. He was my boyfriend at the time because I wanted him to accept me back and I wanted to talk to my mom again.
Want to see your sibling.
And not
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Yes.
It was more my mom that I was just so heartbroken over. And so eventually I graduated from college in 2013 and I created a bucket list. And on that bucket list, I was going through Facebook one day and I saw Miss Native American USA. And I was like, I've never worn heels. I've never worn makeup. I've never even worn an evening dress except for
It's an evening gown.
evening gown. I've never worn an evening gown. And so I decided to go out for Miss Native American USA. Never in my life did I think I was going to win it. It was just like, I want to participate in a beauty pageant because I think it would be different and stepping out of my comfort zone and pushing myself to be something different than what I grew up to be. And in August of 2013, I was named Miss Native American. In August of 2013, I was named Miss Native American USA. And I think that that changed the whole entire trajectory of my life.
I was part of that.
Yes. Do you want to talk about how when we met?
Uh, sure.
Yes.
So we worked at Wells Fargo, and I got this job, and I walked in, and just me being my sassy, fucking fabulous self, I see this beautiful young lady sitting at the
Teller line?
teller line, but I noticed right away. I was like, oh my God, this is like Little House on the Prairie meets Sex in the City. Like, she has so much potential because she's so physically beautiful, but she's dressed like this freaking, I don't know, like, I was just like, wow, what is she hiding from? Like, she looked like a sister wife, essentially, just very, and, and then, like, Sarah was very timid around me at first, and just like, because I have no filter, and then I can be a little much. And so we started talking little by little, and then Sarah had a mouthful of braces.
Yes, I
So she
did.
talked like this.
Yes, and
She would, go ahead.
when I was talking, the rubber bands in my mouth would like break and they would shoot at customers.
But aside from that, like, I was like, I may be the one who has ruined you to this secular life. But no, I was like, I want to be her friend. I like this girl. I think there's potential to have friendship with her. And so, we our friendship started building and building and building, and then for like a little bit I quit, and then she went off to Europe to study abroad,
Yeah.
and she was doing her art stuff, like, or not art stuff, sorry, that
Yeah,
sounds very dismissive. She was doing her art, and she was more passionate, and then she was like, I'm gonna do Miss Native USA, and I was like, this is perfect. I was like, you are talking my language. And I was like, you're not wearing those ugly ass high heels or this. So I kind of coached her on
Yeah.
what to wear, and like, I was on the phone with her makeup artist while she's having her makeup done in Arizona. And I'm like, all right, I want a Kim K. Low ponytail.
Yep.
I want a smoky eye, but not too smoky. And these are the colors I want. And I said, do a nice, really soft lip, and here we go. She calls me right after, and she's like, I won. I was like, I think I even started crying. I was like, oh my God, I knew it. And yeah. And then for a minute there, we kind of just went our own ways.
Yeah, we did.
But we were still in contact. But I don't know what really brought us back together again. Like
No, either.
it was, but like, it wasn't like a long. It was maybe several months or maybe a year, but we were still in contact with each other sporadically. And then I think something else happened, and then it clicked. Like, we were just almost inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that bond that was just like, you're my sister, we have each other's backs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like other friendships where you're like, it's, I'll see you when I see you or whatever. It was like, when I didn't see her, I missed her. And,
Yeah.
and our bond really has grown since then.
And then, well, my brother Joel also helped me pick out a dress for Miss Native American USA.
Kudos
And
to Joel.
yes, thanks, Joel. And then, so after Miss Native American USA, I got the chance to travel to, while I was Miss Native American USA, I got a chance to travel to Moldova, which is in Europe. And then I started to meet actors and other well-known people. And I was in a play in Denver in 2016 with Moses Brings Plenty, which is Black Elk Speaks. And then we went to Budapest for a few years in a row, and we filmed Jamestown. And then what else? I've also
You were side cast for 1918.
oh, 1983. I was cast in 1983, which is
Yellowstone.
part of the Yellowstone kickoff, our
Spin-off.
spin-off. And I also was named into 2024. I was Wyoming Women to Watch for the National Art Museum in Washington, D.C. So I got to show my art for the state of Wyoming. And now I work at a Native American law firm. I am not a lawyer. I don't know if I have the capacity to do anything of that sort.
I don't think it's that you don't have the capacity to do it. I think that your spirit is, and your soul is, you're a giver, and you are very passionate on helping people, and especially tribes, Native
Mhm.
American tribes as a whole, not just your tribe, but as a collective.
Mhm.
You're a humanitarian.
Yeah.
And I think, and this isn't, I don't want to, step out or whatever, but, I don't think being a lawyer, not that you don't have the capacity or the intellect, I just don't think that is your spirit and your
Yeah.
calling.
Yes. I love art. If I could just create art for the rest of my life and make enough money to do that to support my family and, live a good life, I totally would just focus on that every day.
But the thing is, and again, you're a well-known artist in the community, and you don't give yourself enough credit for that. And Sarah hates when I do this when we're out to dinner or just meeting new people, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's in this, and she's a famous artist, and la 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 la, and she's like, shut the fuck up, Alex.
I really do want to say shut the fuck up.
But you know what though? We need to celebrate you, because it's
Yeah.
not that you're one of those snooty artists that's out there just for the fame and the glory. Your artwork has meaning to it, which all artwork does.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, yours is, I feel like it's a little more prolific, and you're very humble about your art. Me and my sister were just talking about you on how humble you are and how beautiful, like inside and out you are, and your family.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes you 10 times more special and 10 times more amazing. And to me, Picasso has nothing on your work.
I do love
Yeah.
Picasso.
Sarah wants to do her art, but then she's always like, she doesn't want to market herself.
Yeah, I don't like to do any
So
of
it's
that.
like she's like, I'll wait for everything to come to me.
I do.
But at the same time, like it does happen,
It comes to me.
which is annoying because I'm like, stop saying that. Like market yourself, but then it happens. But like, I wish she would.
I have this
I
like
wish she would put herself out there more, because it would start to pick up if she actually like stayed consistent and
I get
like put herself out.
I
there.
get exactly. It's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, you just did a Times Square freaking
oh yeah.
this installation in Times Square. How many people, I don't even care, or how many artists
Yeah.
at that get that opportunity
Yeah, that was with Jeffrey Gibson. He
On-
was-
on such a large platform?
yeah.
Not just a New York platform. This is a worldwide platform. People know who you are worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think accomplishments are awesome. But like
You don't have to be
Jason-
braggadocious about it. And
Yeah,
that's the thing.
and-
You're not.
like what Jason was saying, that the spiritual aspect of like having those things come to me, I do have a very deep spiritual not process, but a belief that if it's meant to be for me, then it'll be, and I don't have to push it.
My mom does the same thing
Yeah.
too. And she's like, okay, God's going to take care of it. And I was like, yes. But here's the thing. God gives you free will. And that free will is he's not going to put everything, or creator is not going to put everything on your plate. You have to put some of that work into it yourself. Like
Yeah.
you're like your muses, when you do your artwork,
Mhm.
it's because something that inspires you, but
Yeah.
also it's not going to just fall. I don't want to be like, or like 50 years from now or 100 years from now, somebody finds one of your pieces of artwork in somebody's closet and they're like, oh my God, that's an original Sarah Ortegon high walking piece and it's
Yeah.
worth $80 million
Yeah.
just because you put it in, or,
Yeah.
market
So-
yourself.
I'm like, fuck that. Let's go get it. And she's like, no, let's wait.
So I also feel like right now I'm putting a lot of my creative energy into our son
Yeah.
and helping. I know that Ano has his own, my son has his own way of being. He's going to have his own who he is. But a lot of my energy right now is going to him, and he's 3. So of course it's going to go to him.
Have you ever heard of NyQuil? Benadryl?
Your son?
Oh, our son.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
See, that's a
She always
Sarah
does
thing.
that.
I'm sorry.
Everything's hers. But nothing's mine.
She's like,
Everything that's yours is mine.
she's like, that penis.
But
My penis. Jason's like, that's mine.
sorry to interrupt though, guys, but I think we'll have to continue on episode 3, and I always love hearing your stories, my love, and I think we're in a good place now. It's always hard knowing that you grew up that way, and yeah, I don't want to dismiss your story or anything, but I think we should try to wrap it up, and then we'll move on to the next episode and talk some more. And yeah, it was good to hang out with you guys again.
It's always good.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's medicine.
Yeah. But for the people that are listening, we had a slight
Hiccup.
technological issue, so this will be a straight audio version of the podcast, and then on the next one there'll be some video, and you be able to see more of our emotions, expressions, and
Oh,
things
geez.
that just make the conversation better. So
I'm an ugly crier. But I will say this, I guess, in closing too, again, love each other, show each other a little more grace.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on with the person next to us, or the person in the car next to us, or in our class, or at work, or whatever. Just show a little more grace and empathy. And I think we'll be able to create a better space, better energy than what we're currently in.
Yeah.
but yeah, thanks babe for your story, and thanks Alex, and
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
story.
it's always always interesting rehearing things like that. So yeah, we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, wrap it up.